hope you are doing very well today. I just made myself some tea, some yummy, deeply rooted tea. If you guys have seen the video that I posted a few weeks back where I made tea in the intro, this is the same tea blend that I'm drinking today, full of just yummy, delicious, healthy ingredients like hibiscus and clove and elderberry. So it's really going to get in there and help with my immune system, help me with my root chakra, because it is this deep red hue that I love. Whenever my cycle begins, I know to pull out this blend because it just makes me feel so good, and it's almost like what I'm losing is being replenished by this deep red tea, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I just like to drink it during that time. We just had a full moon and my cycles sync up with the full moon, so all around right now feeling, I guess, a little emotional. So for me personally, what I'm noticing this time around is that I am a little bit more sensitive, a little bit more emotional during this cycle. And so I think drinking this tea now more than ever is really going to help me just feel balanced. I had the day off from work today, so I did other things that I know will help me feel balanced as well. One of them being getting some sun and sitting outside and just really being with myself, being in silence, thinking my own thoughts, outside of any other like digital influences, outside of conversations with people, outside of tasks and duties, like just sitting there in silence with the beam of the sun on my forehead just feels so good. So I made sure to do that today. And then I thought I would film a video about how that made me feel and how just the power of silence I feel like is so important. Every single day, at some point every single day, I make a conscious, intentional effort to have silence in my life. Even if I can't get outside and like sit in the sun and lounge like I did today, at some point every day there is intentional silence that I surround myself with in order to just center myself, get back to thinking my own thoughts, like shunning out all of the opinions and conversations and just all of like the little 2 cents and tidbits that I've had accumulating throughout my entire day or throughout the week. It's so important for me to just take time to myself, particularly in silence. No movies, no TV shows, no books, no hobbies, no painting, no journaling, like no nothing, just me and silence. So this is what I wanted to talk about in today's video, because for me, I find this to be so healing and necessary. I am someone who is a people person. I definitely love to engage with people. I love to learn new things. I love to meet and greet and, like connect. I love to connect with others, and I love to connect with even stories or different art forms, different outlets that people put into the world for consumption, right? And even outside of that, if you look at social media, you look at Instagram and Twitter and YouTube even, it's a hub of stimulation and of activity. And I feel like I've done a great job of curating these spaces for myself so that the things that I do see when I go online or when I'm in these particular places, even out with other people, the people that I'm choosing and the outlets that I'm choosing and the accounts that I'm choosing to follow within these outlets or the people that I'm surrounded by in these places, I make sure that they add value and I make sure that they're positive. Because it's like, if you're gonna go out anyway, if you're gonna be online anyway, you might as well curate the experience to have some positive benefit to you in your life, aid in some kind of growth, in some kind of healing or learning, or, you should be better by going on Twitter. You should be better by scrolling through TikTok if you have that, or Instagram, or whatever these things are. You should be better after spending time with someone. This is the way that I feel, because our energy is so sacred. We do so much in a day. We do so much in life, not only for ourselves, but for others and with others, right? Like, life is a continuous, I think, thing to do. Like, you have to be an active participant in life. So sometimes, not even sometimes, all of the time, at some point every day, daily, there needs to be space for me to just be with me and for me to take a moment to breathe, to exhale, to wash away the day, to think my own thoughts. Like I said earlier, especially online in particular, it's this big hub of activity and stimulation. And I think constant stimulation in these spaces, it's not healthy. It can be, because like I said, if you are an active participant and you curate it in a way that brings you closer to that positive end of the spectrum of what that could be like for you, that experience of being online. If you curate it in the way that is positive, then what you're seeing pop up on your timeline and what you're scrolling through are positive reactions or positive engagement, you know? So you get to choose that for yourself. But outside of that, I think it's so necessary and imperative to make space to not have that, to not have even people around you, to just have silence. When you have silence, you get to differentiate other people's thoughts and opinions apart from your own. And I think honing into your own gut, your own intuition is so important, not only for just strengthening that muscle. You need to be able to, I think, strengthen your consciousness and strengthen your intuition and strengthen that relationship and love that you have for yourself. And that can't happen if you're not just with yourself, right? So I think it's very important for that. And I also think it's important to just disconnect sometimes. We live in a world where we have jobs, we have obligations, we have family, we have relationships. And these are, I think, it's important for us to put in the time for those special kinds of connections as well. But I do think that the biggest connection should be the one that you have with yourself. And when you input silence into your day, you get to go back to you. You get to tune into your own opinions, your own thoughts. You get to have that space to just filter and go through everything and really decipher your thoughts, file your thoughts, organize your thoughts. You know, you get back to a space that is just for you without any outside influence or stimulation. I think a healthy mind is one that is able to, in a sense, stand alone. Y'all know that saying, you're born alone and you die alone? I don't particularly like to say it because I do think community is important. We all need community. We can never do anything completely alone. Do you know what I mean? However, at the same time, I think there's some truth in the sense that you need to be so centered and strong and just conscious within yourself that you know you can always go to yourself. You know that you can always trust yourself. You know that you have got what it takes. Your confidence in yourself is high. That relationship and that skill, because I do think it is a skill, that skill can be strengthened or exercised if you're not consciously setting aside time to do so and to make it as strong and powerful as it possibly can be. And no one's perfect, right? Like, I will never be 100% on. I will never be 100% confident or trusting in my gut or super intuitive. Like, it's not always, but I think if I actively work every single day in these pockets of silence on coming back to my own thoughts, my own feelings, and tuning into me, just me, tapping into my own being, the consistency of that habit is so, I think, helpful for me in the long run. And I urge all of you to do the same. I really feel like moments of silence every single day, it's one of the biggest reasons why I feel like I can do anything and why I feel like I know that I can always go back to myself. I know that I can trust myself. When I feel something, when I have a gut nudge, when I have my intuition going off about something, I know that I can trust it because I've taken the time and continue to take the time every single day to strengthen that part of me. So I know that whatever I'm feeling, whatever I'm thinking, I can trust it because I've built that relationship. It's trustworthy. You really need time each and every day to go back to your own feelings, go back to your own thoughts, go back to your own consciousness and feel for yourself your life. Silence really is golden, and for me, silence can be so loud and so strong. And look, I'm not saying you have to be like a silence master. That's kind of silly. However, I do think that it is a very important part of my day and a big reason why I love myself so much and why I'm so confident in myself. So if you are trying to build up that muscle to be a little bit more intuitive and a little bit more intentional with your time, I really urge you to take time to be silent. Even if it's just 5 minutes each day, just have some quiet time. Like no television, no computer, no games, no scrolling on your phone, no talking to anybody, like just silence, just being. And it's honestly the most wonderful thing. I really look forward to this particular part of my day, each and every day. Earlier, before I got on camera and before I made my tea, I stepped into my backyard because it is a beautiful sunny day today. And I just sat there, like with the sun beaming on my forehead, just in silence for maybe 40 minutes. And it was just so purifying, so healing for me to just take a step back, and whatever comes up, I can address it, I can sift through it, and I don't have anybody else in my head. It's just me, you know? I think that's so beautiful, and I really do cherish these parts of my day because they're making me up to be the woman that I am and the woman that I want to be. And I'm able to motivate myself and talk to myself and just have the necessary conversations with myself when I take the time to do this. Silence is so golden, y'all, and for me it is so necessary. So I really hope that you got some silence today, and that if it hasn't happened yet during your day, that you get some silence a little later on, but make time for silence every single day. I do think that just as much as we have to make time for our family, for our significant relationships, for our jobs, for our pets, for just every other part of our life, I think silence should also be at the top of the list and a big priority, because it's really in silence that you get to know who you are, apart from everything else outside of you. And that is so important. And you are important. Your intuition is important. Your gut is important. Your feelings are important. Your thoughts are important. So get you some silence so that you can figure out just how important they are or can be to you, and cultivate them into something bigger, manifest them in the physical world. I urge you all to get some silence today. And if you can't get it today, maybe start tomorrow. But try to make this a daily habit, you guys, because I certainly have for the past few years of my life, and just the amount of growth and beauty and change that I've seen within myself is so amazing. So I really know how important and imperative this is for becoming the person that you want to be. Thank you all so much for tuning into this video. I really hope you like this topic. Just a little chit chat, us talking about, you know, like a different part of my healing journey, because while expression is very much within me and I think very important for healing, so is silence. And it's something that I've figured out and I wanted to share with you all. So I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day. And if you haven't gotten some silence yet, be sure to do so before it ends, okay? And continue this habit. Continue to get your silence in daily. Thank you all so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.